my name's Dean. Let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is November 21st, 2021, and Bitcoin is looking rangy, okay? Yesterday's video, we said that Bitcoin was likely to range for a number of days. And we postulated that this may last for 5 to 8 days. Why? Because according to Elliott wave theory, by the law of alternation, a two-wave correction, if you have a simple two-wave correction, you should get a complex four-wave correction and vice versa. Given what we see here, a simple ABC correction in the wave 2, and given the fact that complex corrections are more likely to happen in the fourth wave, then it's likely that we are going to get a fourth wave correction, and a complex correction essentially means it's going to last longer than the simple correction. And on, just using my back testing, that length of time is typically 3.5 or twice as long. Okay, so 3.5 times or 2 times as long as the simple correction. And the simple correction took all of 4 days and 12 hours. So we can expect this to take about 6 to 8 days. That's how we came to that 6 to 8 day kind of estimate. Now, let's analyze this complex correction thus far. Okay, thus far, we've more or less respected the 382, right? And the 382 Fibonacci, we know, is the max level, the max height that a fourth wave can retrace to, right? Fourth waves typically retrace between the 236 and the 382, right? And yesterday, we had a really strong impulse to the upside, but it did get rejected at the 382. We did get a bit of a wick, a little bit, maybe a tenth or a little bit more than 0.1% over the 382. So be mindful when you're setting your stops. If you're going to enter positions using the Fibonacci levels, understand that you can get some wicking. So what I like to do is I like to set my stops at the halfway point or just above the halfway point, because typically speaking, according to GAN analysis, if you haven't breached the halfway point of a level, you're not necessarily in control of that level, or you can say that past the halfway point is conquering that level. Before that, the halfway point is basically you're under that level. That level still hasn't been breached. Okay, I know a lot of traders like to use open and closes, right, on higher time frames, but this is another way to do it using Fibonacci. All right, so just be mindful. You literally can't just set it right behind the 382, although I've done that before, and sometimes price does respect it to the dollar, especially at the 618, but not always. Okay, so just be careful. Like I said, this is a complex correction, it looks like, right? And what is a complex correction? A complex correction is either a double three or a triple three, okay? And a double three is a WXY or a WXYXZ, okay? Very simply put, the complex corrections always slant within the direction of the correction. Okay, so we're in a downtrend. This is a fourth wave, so the complex correction is going to slant up this way. I have actually seen the X come below the start of W, okay, which is not necessarily supposed to happen, but I've seen it. So you can sometimes even get this, okay? And one of the community members, Steven, asked yesterday, well, given that W, if this is W, if we're in a complex correction and this is the first wave, W came all the way up to the 382 and even breached the 382 ever so slightly, wicked above the 382, then if Y, which is the third wave of the complex correction, if Y is supposed to exceed the level of W, then how can it do so if W is already wicked above the 382? My answer to that is I don't know, but I'm guessing it may just be $1 above, right? It may be at the same height. Sort of practically speaking, it looks the same, but it may just be ever so slightly higher than the W, and that would that would qualify, right? But again, I've seen X's, and it may have been my count not being right. I've seen X's go below the origination point of the W, and I think we can even look at that. So let's go into a smaller time frame and look at this correction. And why are we doing this? And why are we getting into the minutia of a correction? Most of the time, price action, and I've said this before on the channel, most of the time, price action is in corrective state, right? It's in corrective phase. It's not in impulsive phase, right? The impulsive phase is where it goes up, and it goes down. But most of the time, we're ranging, we're going sideways, okay? And so mastering the sideways action, really having a good grasp on what price action does and how it behaves when it's going sideways is going to give you a huge edge as a trader and as a chartist. Okay, so smaller time frames. Let's go on the 1 hourly time frame. Okay, we see that we touched the bottom. Okay, we did a pivot basically in A, B, C, and that C wave was the one wave of a 5-wave impulse to the upside. Then we got a B wave. So this is clearly an A, B, C, right? The A comprised of 5 waves. The B is an A, B, C. The C is 5 waves up, okay? And this is where we last. So this A, B, C is W, I believe, okay? So if we say that's W, then this A, B, C must be X in the making, okay? It must be X in the making because we see here it's clear, there's clearly an A, and actually, so we got 5 waves. After 5 waves, you have to get an ABC, right? So this is basically what we're getting, right? So this portion was the C wave. This was impulsive, so we know we have to get a corrective wave, so A, B, C. So if this is A, this is B that we're working on, and B should come, if it's a flat, should come between, let's zoom in, and we know flats retrace between the 786, it goes to at least the 786, and it can go all the way to the 1618, right? In an irregular or expanded flat. But this looks like it's just almost touched the 786. It may come even higher to touch the 786 in earnest, but maybe over, I don't know. But this B wave was actually a WXYXZ, and we can see an example of that, and it's pretty tricky. So this is why a lot of people get wrecked, and a lot of people don't know how to trade these complex corrections because they're like nested complex corrections within complex corrections within complex corrections. It's really hard to make heads or tails out of when we're going to leave them, how long we're going to be in them, all that stuff. So, all right, this is W. Now A, B, C. We know that the W can be either a flat or a zigzag correction, right? We got a zigzag correction. It looks like A, B, C. Now, this can be a flat, which looks like it's going to be a flat. So X can be a flat, a zigzag, or a diag, or a triangle rather. And then Z can be a zigzag, flat, or triangle. X, zigzag, flat, or triangle. X2, zigzag, flat, or triangle. And X, Y. I said Y can be zigzag, flat, or triangle. I said Z before. I meant Y. And Z can also be a zigzag, flat, or triangle. I'm sorry for the confusion. Okay. Anyway, so if this is going to be a flat, it can be, the C wave, if this is A and this is B, the C wave typically retraces between 1 and 1236, but it can also retrace as little as 786 or 618 and as much as 2 and 2236. So the target is anybody's guess. I would say if you are trading this, if you happen to be in a trade right now, in any kind of trade in this complex correction, I would suggest you're hiding your stops behind the 382, okay? A bit behind the 382, because you never know what's going to happen here. and try and trade the top of the range and the bottom of the range. Meaning, if you're at the top of the range, then you're shorting. If you're at the bottom range, then you're longing. And again, just hide your stops behind the 382. And if you're longing, obviously you hide your stops behind the lower limit. But you can also form a new lower limit. So you got to be careful. These things are not, they're not easy to trade, and it's not recommended to trade if you're a novice or you don't have a good handle on, complex corrections. So that's just it. It's a no trade zone for most people. Okay, so if this indeed is a flat, the target again is 1 to 1 2 3 6, but it would most likely not be 1 to 1 2 3 6 because once we hit this, we get a double top, which goes all the way to 2. So it's most likely minimum target of 2 to 2 2 3 6 for this X wave. Okay. So that's pretty much what I'm seeing. And let's zoom in even closer to see an example of the WXYXZ. So we're on the 15-minute chart, and we can see very clearly here, right here, we fall in to the, so this is, let's see. Okay, so this is A. Okay, so this is the A wave out of the 5-wave impulse that ended W, the larger W. And now this is a smaller WXYXZ. Watch this. Zigzag, W. And this is, I think, a zigzag as well. Let's go even smaller time frame to see some detail. Okay, so that's clearly a zigzag, W. That seems to be another zigzag, X. But do you see how X ends below the starting point of W? So this is what I'm saying. So W, X, and then a flat for Y. Do you see that? A, B, C, a flat for Y. X2, A, B, C, a zigzag. And then right here, Z, A, B, C. Right? I think this is it. I think that's the end. A, B, C for Z. I think the correction stops here, which would mean that this is going to be sort of your first wave down, if not a pivot, maybe a pivot and then a first wave down. But I think the correction stops here. Right? So that's pretty much what I'm seeing. That's an example of a WXYXZ. I mentioned in yesterday's video that gold was in a multi-year WYXZ. Goodness gracious. I can speak. All right. So, larger time frame, again, for those of you who are just looking for impulsive action and, looking for price predictions, there's not much to be said. Just like I said last video, it looks like we're going to be ranging for some time if we just now finished W and we haven't even begun the descent of X. Just imagine, right? We've already been in this correction for all of 2 days and 16 hours, right? So 2 days and 16 hours, and we've only completed a third of the correction, pretty much. So the idea of spending 6 to 8 days is likely, right? So that's pretty much it for me. Another reason why I don't talk about, and some people may ask, Dean, why don't you talk about alts? There's some alts that are green and doing big numbers, and I'm like, that's not big numbers. 15, 20%, 30% is not big numbers. If you guys really want big numbers, wait until the actual bull run starts. We've been in a B wave, a larger B wave, ever since August? No, ever since let's zoom out really quickly. We've been in a larger B wave correction ever since July. Okay, this is great upside in B wave. Upside is pretty fierce, but this is not the parabolic price action that bull runs in crypto are known for. Okay, so I would be very cautious with any altcoin purchases, any longs of altcoins, right? These are temporary at best. If anything, you should be looking to exit positions now, because Bitcoin is in a downtrend, in a larger downtrend. It's going to complete its first wave of 5 down. After the first wave is complete, you're going to get a relief rally in the wave 2, but still, that's not, I mean, obviously short-term trade, but it's not like buy and hold for many months and wait until you get the desired results. It's not that kind of purchase, because the larger trend is a downtrend. So you should be looking to exit positions. You should be looking to sell high. This is a play, and this is why I haven't been talking about altcoins for quite some time, except to discuss, exit points, right? So that's pretty much it from Bitcoin. I hope this was helpful. I hope this was useful. Again, welcome to the new subscribers. This channel is, for people interested in charting, people interested in trading, for serious chartists, serious traders. And, hopefully you can learn a lot and gain an edge in the market, whether you're a short-term trader, a long-term trader, investor, whatever. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon.